Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about leadership and command and former President Trump. You know, the terms leadership and command, they get used interchangeably a lot. They don't mean the same thing, and you don't find them in the same places. On the left, you don't find command. Not really. You find leadership, but you don't find command because it runs counter to the ideology. On the left, things are supposed to be egalitarian. Everybody's supposed to be equal. Command comes from a perceived authority, comes from hierarchy. So you don't find it there very much. Leadership, well, it can come from the bottom, so that's okay. On the right, well, it's pretty much all command because it's hierarchical. That hierarchy, that perceived authority, those people on the top telling those people on the bottom what to do, and the people on the bottom doing it. How do you build your command? How do you get that perception of authority? Little by little. If you talk to somebody who was in the military, most of them are going to tell you about a commander who showed up and made a whole bunch of small changes when they arrived. Little things, silly things, ridiculous things that didn't make any sense, but at the same time, well, it was pretty easy to comply with the orders. If you comply with the smaller orders, you do what you're told there, you'll follow the bigger orders later. It's how a lot of new commanders try to build their commands. You know, it doesn't take a lot to make sure all the mats by the door, the grain is going the same way, or the fire extinguishers get checked once a week or painted once a month. Don't walk on the grass, whatever. It doesn't matter. Because it's not the action that matters. It's obeying that perceived authority. Right? See, the thing is, the opposite's true too. The first rule of command is to never give an order that isn't going to be obeyed. You never give an order that won't be or can't be followed because it undermines your command. Because just like if you start following orders from somebody, you're likely to continue. If you start ignoring them, well, their authority, you realize it's just a perception. Former President Trump has been issuing a lot of commands lately, and a lot of them are being ignored. Some of them are leading to him being booed. His latest command was to tell his followers that they needed to get off of Twitter and Facebook because Twitter and Facebook are radical left. You know, I'm sure that when you think radical left, you think giant multi-billion-dollar capitalist corporations, you know. Aside from that being a really weird statement, his followers aren't going to obey that command. That hierarchy that they need. That's where they get it. They love social media more than they love him. They'll ignore this. They're not going to give up social media. And they probably won't move to the one that he prefers. If former President Trump continues on his current path, he will order himself into an irrelevant position. He will become an old man yelling at the internet. But that opens up another question. Who takes over the mantle of command after him? Once his perceived authority is gone, who's going to try to take over? Who's next in line? I have a couple of ideas on who it would be. I would start watching for prominent Republican figures, perhaps maybe a governor, to start giving small commands. And see how people respond to them. See how the right responds to them. Those politicians who are capable of giving those small commands up front and having them followed, those are the ones you need to look at as the replacement for Trump, as the next Trump, the next person that's going to try to tap into the movement that arose around him, that he was able to capitalize on. Because former President Trump is losing his command. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.